I went into a ton of detail in the blog on pdspicks.com about Gavin Winterstein and his last, call it 12 to 14 months of hockey. And hopefully it doesn't come off as dismissive because it's not. It's not meant to be. Hopefully his journey really resonates with a lot of you in high school hockey because look, like there's only one Aiden Cook this year. And I'll have more on him in a minute too, but there's dozens of kids like Gavin Winterstein in hockey this year who, if they channel their energy and focus on the right things, play the game play the game the right way, have a willingness to kind of accept a different type of role at the next level, they too could earn a shot at a junior team like Winterstein did this fall. He's big, 6'1", 185. That tells me he's been hitting the gym like a maniac this offseason, eating right too, bulking up, putting on good weight so he can be stronger on his skates, stronger on the ice. Can you do that? Yeah, like that's something any of us can do in our off-season regimen. He's going to the pre-draft camps, taking time out of his summer in pursuit of junior hockey. Can you do that? Yeah, it's the summer. You don't think he'd rather be spending his weekend out at the lake like the rest of us? Like, yeah, I don't want to be in an ice rink with a bunch of nobodies either. But if it just comes back to how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to play at the next level? We've all got excuses. We've all got reasons not to. It's about finding the reasons to do it and to pursue those goals. And moving on to the next level, a lot of us have the skill and the ability and the IQ, but very few are willing to make the sacrifices necessary to move on. Sacrifices to give up your summer weekends or summer weeks, training and developing and honing your skills away from the lake, away from the beach, the pool, whatever. Some of us aren't willing to go live in Montana or Nebraska or wherever junior hockey opportunities lie in pursuit of junior hockey. You're farther away from home, might get homesick. Your other buddies are off at college or things like that. There's a lot of reasons not to, and it's about finding that reason to pursue those goals. And it's funny because timing wise, I was on Instagram last week and I came across a great podcast, the Sawyer Brothers show, and it's, I think, perfect for the Michigan high school hockey audience. The same one I try to speak to here on a weekly basis. A phenomenal interview with Jimmy Monks, a kid who played for Gabriel Richard just a few years ago. And he was talking about his time in high school and what it was like making the jump to junior, being frustrated, wanting to quit. A guy who scored 90 points as a senior was getting scratched in junior hockey from the lineup. So, similar to me, there are two guys on the podcast there, just high school hockey guys through and through, Griffin and Andrew Sawyer. I believe former Trenton guys, if I'm not mistaken. I might have even coached against Griff at one point if I lined up our timelines right. But so check them out, give them a listen. The Jimmy Monks interview is gold for any kid in high school hockey right now with aspirations of moving on. A real great peek behind the curtain of what it takes and what it could look like, the struggles you'll face, how to battle adversity, things like that. I think they got another interview too with Dante DePonio, another former Michigan high school guy there too. So if you don't want to hear it from me, take it from former high school guys who literally went through what you're going through just 2, 3, 4 years ago. One of my favorite quotes is a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from someone else's mistakes. So hear their words and make adjustments and alterations to your path. That would be my advice there. So between the Winterstein story on my website or the Sawyer Brothers pod, there's a lot of info out there for any of the aspiring hockey players in our game today on what it really looks like trying to play on beyond high school. Winterstein coming back to Alpena for his senior season makes the Wildcats the instant favorite to win the Big North. Hell, they might have even been the favorite even without Winterstein, had he stuck in the NA this season. A lot of young guys on this Alpina team that I've liked for a while now. Ethan Walker on the blue line is a real good skater and a puck mover. Parker Schultz in net, Clark Weir, Ethan Weir, Trevor Worth, Brody Misiak, all underclassmen that contributed a lot on last season's team that went to the Final Four and should be back again this season. So Winterstein is just icing on the cake. The Cats have a pretty beefed up schedule too. You know, they're hosting a couple showcases in the first half of the season. They got Catholic Central coming to town. How about that? Big game alert there. Put that one on your calendars. And I think that's good on Coach Cal for making that trip too. Shamrock's got a couple matchups on the schedule this season that I'm excited about that they don't typically have, and I think it's big of them. It's big for the teams taking on those challenges. It's just a huge opportunity, growth opportunity for Michigan high school hockey. So excited about a couple of those matchups, like this one in particular with Alpina. So you look around the rest of the conference, and it seemed like TC West really started to click towards the end of last season. I mentioned defenseman Drew Charland earlier. He was a big part of that. 22 of his 32 points last season came after the new year. He went on to play for Team Michigan, then looked good at the MDHL this fall as well. His development has just skyrocketed over the last few months, and that's kudos to the Titans coaching staff up there. I think they're going to get a lot out of him this season, similar to what they did with Callan Ray last year. They'll find ways to get the most out of their guys like Robert Counselor, Landon Totten, and Hudson Robertson as well. Plus, this is Brady or Brody? I think it's Brody. So I wrote Brady, but I'm pretty sure it's Brody Sorensen. Kid comes over from Bell Tire last season. He was playing in the MD this fall. He's north of 6 feet tall, skates well, handles pucks. Maybe one of the better forward prospects that West has had in a few years now, too. So I don't know their goaltending situation right now. I know they graduated their senior starter from a year ago, but if the Titans can figure that out, they could be a real problem too. And let's not forget that Petoskey beat Alpina on two separate occasions last season. Leading scorers Madden Pateman and Anderson Ward are back for the Northmen. So is goalie Nick Tim. That's a group that won a Division III regional title last season and certainly capable of doing it again when you consider all these pieces that are coming back. Everyone's attention goes to Alpina and the Traverse City schools. And hi, me, I'm guilty of it. But Petoskey's resume speaks for itself, man. And you take a closer look and don't count them out either in the Big North circuit.